you know, indoctrinated and whatever, and they wanted to become Catholic. And neither one of my parents was Catholic, and baptized all 6 children Catholic.
My daddy was a Baptist because we had a home church in Mount Morenci. And my mom converted over to Catholic, and my dad, and and all the kids.
From grandma.
Yeah. From grandma, she used to work for the nuns.
For the nuns.
The oblates?
Yes.
No, it wasn't
oblates.
Sisters in the
But our nuns were the oblates.
Okay.
St Gerard.
So you all had 2 sets of religious orders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Blessed Redemptorist.
Wayman has a little article there in
They've seen it.
the book of the oblates.
But it just makes a statement about, in 1972, due to integration, St. Gerard's was closed and students were able to go to St. Mary's, and that's when St. Gerard's became an independent parish, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
I forget exactly
We
where it
were just moving to Aiken at that time, and they told us, since we were not a member of that parish, we had to pay a certain fee. And with 4 kids, we couldn't afford it at the time.
Really?
That's where I got it.
And another thing, they said they didn't have room for all 4. I didn't tell you that part. They said they would take 2, but they couldn't take all 4. They didn't have room. So
Did they say
Mary's. I
they
haven't
were
been
trying to
back
get them in
since.
as soon as they could?
They didn't tell me that.
Did they try to work with you on the tuition to make it affordable?
Nope.
Well, mine was
just
just
my
the opposite.
Ah.
The priest came to my house
Oh, the
because
priest.
I was going to send them to a public school. And I was pregnant at the time. And I told them I couldn't afford to, and being pregnant out of work, to send the 2 to St. Mary's. So they gave me a cut. They just asked me, was I tithing or giving an offering over here? Because that's the way they get their break. If you're a member of St. Mary's and contributing to the church, then you don't pay the same amount as other Catholic does.
Yes.
So that's where I got my break.
And of course, it was
My
the same
time frame is
at
76.
St. Gerard's.
Earlier.
And I just told him that I
you
couldn't
paid
afford
less.
it, and, you know, like I said, he came to the house and wanted to know why was I not sending my 2 kids to St. Mary's, and I said, with one working, we can't afford it, you know.
That's nothing.
And the
I had
churches
a-
in
I
Ohio.
remember the nuns,
They
like
like
Sister
the-
Roberta, Sister Mary Joseph, Sister Stella Maria.
See, they was older than we are. That's along with my oldest brother.
Y'all probably don't know, but I wasn't a born Catholic either.
You weren't?
Converted going through Catholic school.
Oh, okay.
Methodist.
Yeah.
I went to Christ the King, school that the priest came there to help open this school.
2 of my wife's uncles went to school here
Gerard
and became
kids,
Catholic.
you know, coming out of grammar school into high school. Because all my kids went through high school,
They went to St. Angela's?
St. Angela.
Okay, and Richard Dean went to St. Angela.
St. Anthony's.
Angela.
St. Angela
was
high school.
It's a high school.
And I went to St. Jude and Sumter.
And it was mixed.
Boarding school.
Yeah, it was mixed.
It was
They had a
a
boarding
school.
school too, a girls' boarding
Father
school.
Goodman had something to do with that.
Because they also was
St.
affiliated
Jude
with the
I don't know.
church in Augusta, Immaculate
Immaculate
Conception.
Conception, that's where y'all went.
Yeah.
And the sisters over there.
You did
was,
too?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, okay.
part of their parish.
I went
Because
to
I used to ride back and forth with some of the sisters.
What do you think about how they handled integration at that time, where African Americans, were told that they would be welcome in that particular parish, St. Mary's Helper Christian, and it happened, but it didn't happen smoothly, did it?
No,
No,
because
it wasn't.
as Wayman said, they told him, but we can only take 2, and
And just split a family up like that, yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't sensitive, and I think that was during the 70s, right?
Right.
That was when integration was happening with everybody, all the schools, and nothing went smoothly.
No.
And do you all agree to the statement that there are economic disparities between whites and blacks?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, just one
Yes.
Do you all agree that there was economic disparities back then?
Oh,
Most
yeah,
so.
sure.
Do you think it was quite obvious that there were economic disparities?
Yeah, I think it was. It's pretty obvious.
That's how I found out about St. Gerard.
You were told
I
that?
didn't know there were 2 churches here, so.
I didn't either when I
St.
first
Mary's,
came.
And I was told, you may
Couldn't
be
stand
comfortable,
St.
there's
Mary's.
another church over there, you may be more comfortable. Almost the exact same word, Luke 76.
Wow.
Father, what were you gonna say to that question?
Mr. Payne,
That's-
Mr.
yeah.
Robinson.
Well, were you comfortable?
Yeah, I was more comfortable.
And that is the truth.
Well, yeah.
That's the truth. You are more comfortable. You're able to, and that's why they're here. For leadership development, you can take ownership, and you have a much wider opportunity to embrace your culture.
But it shouldn't be that way. you
Right.
know.
It should.
I think Marge saying it and feeling horrified is how almost, people say things, but they don't seem to mind or care about what is heard. And somebody may say it with complete innocence and quite oblivious of the impact of that statement in the culture and society that we are in, and not even conscious of what is heard. The person that you are addressing, what is that person hearing you say? And I think it's on the basis of what is heard that somebody like Marge said, I'm horrified. I'm just horrified to hear that. She says it, but who knows what she means? But what is heard by the other is like, don't tell me that. Because in a way, you are telling me you are not welcome here. Or you will not fit in here. And you don't even know me. And you have all these presuppositions that is expressed in that statement.
And what is that called?
It's prejudice.
That behavior?
That kind of behavior is unconscious, whatever I think you want to call it, but the person may not even be aware of it. And that is what is really even more painful and really sad, that is normalized. This is like normal and regular, so that the person in this kind of privileged position doesn't even see it. And that is where it's really insidious. That's where it's really difficult. But what do we do with our staff members, in terms of orientation? I think that is what the United States Bishops' Conference, and a beautiful program that they put up, and we were to work on it, Kathleen, on cultural competency. You would be surprised why we would need cultural competency in the church.
Was the best of time back in the late 60s, and I went to nursing school, so, we could afford to send, at that time I only had 2. But I think it's a financial burden on the families, and then they think about college, look at the tuition, because we all, except for Shirley and Richardine, we went to Immaculate in Augusta. So our parents had to pay that bus fare for 4 years, for 3 kids.
From Aiken
From
to
Aiken
Augusta?
4 years.
Now that bus fare, public transportation or?
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
public bus.
How long did it take you to get there?
About 30 minutes, 35 minutes. We was always late, but religion was first class, so that was easy.
You know what, that's a story, and that tells you something about the Catholic Church and their commitment to African Americans.
Because at that time, they wasn't integrating that St. Angela. So the older of us did. Shirley went to St. Jude's.
I went to
in
St. Jude, and Father Goodwin thought that would be a good place for me. I went to St. Jude in something. That's where I graduated from.
And my
High
other
school.
brother,
It was a boarding school.
And, oh,
Teresa married too.
But
Was
I
it-
went to St. Immaculate Conception. They had a boarding school.
right.
that was in
Oh.
Charleston?
No,
Augusta.
Okay.
And my mother had 4 girls. And the last year that I was in Catholic school, she had us all in
The boys.
Immaculate Conception, and we stayed at the boarding school, St. Benedict's boarding school in Augusta.
Were they for
Yeah,
blacks only, the boarding
The boarding
schools?
school, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to
Now
the
mine
boarding
was
school too.
mixed, the school was mixed.
And
Huh.
the
Then
priest-
I had a brother
the
that
priest
graduated
helped pay.
from school in Boston. He went to
Lovely.
Boston
Gerard,
and
Gerard
finished
with,
his
At a
Catholic-
boarding school?
at a boarding school, Catholic education in Boston.
What was that experience like, a Catholic boarding school in South Carolina?
wow, the first year I cried like a baby.
Yeah, like it is.
I never been homesick,
We felt
but
like
then
we
I
were
got
in the
used
army.
to it.
You had KP. You had to take, we had to take.
Y'all were like little girls?
Yeah.
No, I was going
I
to
was
the
in
ninth grade, from ninth to 12th.
Sixth grade, I was in the sixth grade.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have to get up early, you know, we had to take turns going down and making the toast or whatever, and we had to peel potatoes, and it wasn't all bad, we had some fun.
So, what motivated that? What was it? I
The
mean,
reason that my mother sent, because she worked long hours, and she did not want us to be left unsupervised. So,
To
you know,
boarding
long
school,
periods.
yeah.
So that's why she put us, we had two older brothers. They stayed and they lived at home and went to Schofield. But she didn't want to leave us unsupervised. But then the next year we begged her and she let us go to
Yes,
Schofield.
yes.
Well, my two younger sisters went back to St. Gerard's. But myself and my older sister, I went to Schofield in the 7th grade and my sister went in the 8th.
yeah.
We went in
Wow.
the 7th and 8th.
Kathleen, I wonder for ladies, for the young girls, then you could see the protection and the supervision and all of that they got. I wonder for women, as a
Yeah,
boy,
I went
what
to,
was?
I guess the priest thought I was gonna be Catholic when I was in Catholic school at Christ the King, so he helped my parents to send me to a boarding school that was in Virginia, St. Emma, same place.
Oh,
one of
St.
the
Emma
deacons went.
Military Academy.
You know, one of the schoolmates, a deacon at your church.
Uh-huh.
And it was Catholic, and it was tough, because it was a Catholic military school too. And I was 13 at the time.
Yeah.
And had to be put on the train,
I was
sent
a
to
teacher at a
Richmond,
Catholic
Virginia,
school,
and
and
the
none
school sent a
scared
bus to
me.
pick you up. But it was all black. But I was saying, the deacon, I can't think of his name now, the older deacon at your church, is a graduate. also.
Winston Wright?
Winston Wright, yeah.
Yeah.
Schoolmates. But I was a little ahead of him.
He never told that story
He never told me.
about the boarding school.
Oh, he's one of the
I'll have to
biggest
interview
supporters.
him.
He doesn't miss a convention.
And so you got a lot of attention. You got to,
Yeah. And it wasn't as large as
They
class.
expect you to succeed.
Yeah.
Right.
They
They
build that into
really
you.
did.
Right, so I
You
mean,
can
it's
do
just
as well as
expected,
anybody.
right?
Because usually when our graduate class, it wasn't large, but at least 85% went on to college. and got jobs.
To this building was added by the Catholic Church, added a second story. So when there was a funeral, you couldn't get the casket up the stairs, and because it made a turn, and you couldn't.
Right.
So when there was a funeral, the casket was hoisted up the building and somehow taken through a window, and that's how the casket got into the church.
Did y'all laugh? Did y'all try not to
I was
laugh when
young.
you go into the
Oh, you know
funeral?
what? I was like 6 years old, the first funeral. You know whose funeral I went to here? Edwina Dunbar's mother.
Oh,
She was my
okay.
little cousin. And I was probably, Edwina was probably 5, and I was probably 7 or 9. You know,
Yeah.
we probably didn't even, we may not have even realized that
Well,
how they got the
I
casket
know
in
they
there.
couldn't.
You thought it was normal. When you went to a real funeral, you said, Why didn't the casket going up?
Why are they going up the building like everybody?
Something wrong with this
But I
phone.
thought that was an interesting story, but yeah, actually the caskets had to go up the side of the building.
Yeah, I hung on to that.
Switch.
I was home down there on the corner, which is a brick. Then he moved upstairs and the sister
Moved over there.
So that used to be the property as well? Right, the First Baptist?
No,
It's on this corner over here.
the next, you see where the other
What, that
brick?
empty lot is?
No, it's a brick building. That big
Yes,
brick
that's it.
building over there. That was the Parsons.
Right around the corner is a Methodist church that my mother belonged to. Right around the corner here. They sold these bricks as, you know, like as a fundraiser, and my brick is down here, but it's
Oh, really? We
it's
should
over
have
there.
this.
All of us went to college, and out of 6, 3 have masters, you know, and 1 has a bachelor's, and 2 went, but they never did finish, you know. So it was,
College, right.
right, didn't finish college, right. And so, but I think the Catholic school was very good for us in terms of our early education. I think it really was.
That's the character of this parish, that we really are a community.
Yes.
And we do things that express that unity. So people come here